Hey there guys, JoelGamingYT here and welcome back to my Formula 1 2015 Road to Former Glory with Jenson Button and obviously McLaren. Now last episode in Australia we finished in a good position. We finished in 7th place, picking up 6 points, and that was after starting in 5th place. But as you can see, for Malaysia we have qualified once again in 5th place. And shut up David Croft, because I am going to be commentating this race and not you. So let's get into the race. And as you can see here, I take a bit of time to decide what tyres I should use for the first stint. I was thinking maybe prime tyres for the start, and then obviously finishing up on the options. And I believe that's what I do go for, and indeed I do. So it's going to start on the top on the primes and end on the options. So we're getting ready for the lights. 1 light, 2 lights, 3, 4, 5, and the Malaysian Grand Prix is underway. Let's hope we can avoid a first corner collision like we did in Australia with Sebastian Vettel. But Massa goes down the inside before turn 1, but I brake very late before everyone else, and I've been hit! That's not what I want at all. I have been hit from behind. I think it was Massa, and I have to reverse and try and slot in somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to feed back in. It's 12th behind Ricciardo, and it's a real shame because I want to avoid a first corner collision, and I've hit the back of Raikkonen. The first lap is not going too well, but I'm still holding it, and I've been sideswiped by Verstappen. It's still not going too well, and I've been hit again. This first lap has just gone horribly wrong. We're only 3 corners in, and I'm literally at the back of the field. I'm in 19th place, just ahead of Marcus Ericsson. It's a real shame that this had to happen, but oh well, these things do happen, and unfortunately now we have to move on. We're now on to lap 3, and I'm just behind Roberto Murray, looking to take him into turn 4, and he brakes quite early. I brake a little bit later. We give each other plenty of room, and it's an easy overtake for me, and I'm up into 18th place, slowly making my way through the field. But it's quite a bit of a gap to Will Stevens, the young British rookie in the it's Man of Malaysia, not Malaysia. Well, it is Malaysia, but it's Man of Malaysia. So I'm stuck between the two Manners, which is a real shame, because this race could be a lot easier as we skip to lap 4, and I'm up into 17th. I'm still behind Will Stevens, but I'm in 17th because someone pitted. I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was. I was going to go down the inside into this hairpin. Can I take Will Stevens? There's a little bit of contact. There's even more contact, and I still can't overtake him. Maybe I could take him into this corner, and we do it superbly. We're up into 16th place. We're now trying to hunt down the Red Bull of Daniel Kvyat, as Hamilton is currently leading the race, which is no surprise, as we skip to the beginning of lap 7, and this is the pit window. And my engineer's telling me that I need to come into the pits on this lap, or compromise, or well, not really compromise the race, but you know. But we are up into 10th place, but that is because some drivers were in the pits. So I'm looking at around a net P15, P16 to P17 as we now come into the pits, and my car decides to slow down to like 20 miles per hour. I'm putting the throttle on, but my car just doesn't want to move. I don't know what's going on. And finally we get up to speed. I don't know what that was all about. My car just decided to go like 20 miles per hour, which was strange. As we now set the pit limiter, we've dropped down to 13th. Well, we're still 30th, but I think a couple of drivers are still in the pits. Yeah, there's a couple of drivers on the mini-map just behind me in the pits. We dropped down to 14th, 15th, and now 16th place. And the team just put on primes. I think the team put on primes, which means I'm going to have to do another pit stop. That's really going to compromise the race, especially if I'm in the points. So that means another pit stop, which will be towards the end of the race as we go on to lap 10. Oh, we've moved on to lap 10, coming towards the end, and we're closing in on Maldonado. He's probably going to push me off and I'll crash into a barrier and retire from a race, which is what it usually does in real life. Is it going to give me enough room? There's there was not a lot of room, but I managed to make the move stick. No corner cutting, which is absolutely brilliant. And I'm up into P15, hunted down my teammate Fernando Alonso, who is behind Kvyat. There is a Red Bull not in the top 10. How weird is that? Anyway, we're on to the back straight now, still trying to hunt down Alonso. I did not get the DRS, but maybe I'll get it for this pit straight. Hopefully I do. I'm just behind Alonso, but I've gone a little bit wide into that last turn in. But I do get the DRS, but I think Alonso also gets DRS. And in fact, I think that 5 cars ahead of me all got DRS, apart from the leading one, which is a real pain in the arse. But as we turn into turn 1, trying to close down Alonso, trying to overtake him, trying to finish in front of him, and it'll be an awesome overtake if I can make the move stick. I remember I still got one pit stop to do, just so we don't get disqualified, because we have to use both compounds as we go up the inside of Fernando Alonso to turn 4. It's still neck and neck, we're side by side. And I make the move stick. I'm up into 14th. I'm now hunting down the Red Bull of Daniel Kvyat. And my race engineer just told me that Hamilton's in first place, which is no surprise really. As I go down the inside Kvyat and I make the move stick, it's a nice move there. Now hunting down Felipe Nasser, whose teammate Marcus Ericsson hit me on the first lap, and I go down his inside. And I've taken P12. I'm coming through the field. I want those points. I want some points to take away from Malaysia. But obviously we have to remember that I will not be getting any points, as I still have to make one more pit stop, which is a pain in the backside. And I've hit the back of Carlos Sainz. I need to back off a little bit. And I managed to do that. Am I still going to get DRS? I don't think I will. I do get the DRS. It's wide open. But Carlos Sainz is going to have the DRS on Perez. As we all go down to the final corner. And they've broken a little bit too early. And I've gone down the inside of both Perez and Sainz. And I'm up into P10. Now I have to put the throttle on, because they will have DRS on me. And you can see how much speed there is between not having DRS and having DRS, but I managed to make the stick to position and currently have 1 point, which will be not too bad. But we are now up into 9th place apparently, and who was that? That was one, I don't know who that was. I think that might be Lewis Hamilton, who looks like he's retired from the race, which is a real shame for him. It's going to really dent his World Championship title credentials, as we now move on to the beginning of lap 13. And as you can see, my race engineer has told me that I need to come into the pits, as we have not used both dry compounds. As you can see, the pit crew are ready, because we need to use the option tyres or we will be disqualified, which is a real pain in the backside, because I'm in 9th. It's 2 points for us as we come on to the end of lap 13. And obviously I'm going to lose a whole lot of positions. I'm going to be dropping out of the top 10, which is a real pain. As you can see, I'm down to 11th already, because Nasser, and I think it was Verstappen, had overtaken me because I'm in the pits. And the other cars behind me, there's 4 cars I think have just gone past me, so I'm down in 15th place, which is not too good. And to pit on the final lap of the race is just so annoying, but it's not a bad pit stop. 2.4 seconds to put on the option tyres. And yeah, unfortunately this is the final lap, so there won't be much action. I'll probably be finishing the race in this position, which is not too good. So I'm probably a long way behind my Pastor Maldonado, but I'm going to keep pushing even though it's the final lap. And as you can see, we have come to the end of the race pretty much. I've gone quite wide in that corner as I take home P15. Not a good result at all, a poor result. And just to think, at the start of the race we were in P5, we had a good start, but to drop 10 places throughout the race is not good enough. And I do actually blame the pit crew for not putting options when I first came into the pit. So yeah, that's not too good. Rosberg won the Malaysian Grand Prix ahead of Vettel, and as you can see, Alonso finished in 13th. I finished 15th, and Hamilton didn't even finish the race, which is who I probably overtook on that lap. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this round 2 of the Malaysian Grand Prix, and if so, please do leave a like, please subscribe as well, and it only takes a second to click both those buttons, and I'll see you next time. Cheers lads, peace and bye.